Got it.
Got
This
it.
meeting is being recorded.
It is being recorded. So now we just have to be normal, right? Lost a plot with MNJ. Like and subscribe. So you don't have to remind me. I'm getting this. I've got a little note down there that says like and subscribe. So I don't forget. Hey, I want to talk about, well, what do you think? I've been watching Married at First Sight because I love the human dynamics. I'm totally in love with relationships, and not even intimate relationships, but friendships and how they come together, and watching people tick and watching people not compromise and watching people compromise too much, but it's not reciprocated. It's all very, very fascinating. It's my favorite thing. I love to watch people. So that came out really wrong, didn't it?
Yeah, but you do realize that that show is, it's not actors or anything, but
Oh, no,
I'm pretty
no.
sure.
Don't tell me, because next you'll be telling me that the wrestling is choreographed. So don't ruin.
No. It's not choreographed.
Okay.
They look, you know what? They're very good at cutting and pasting like any other TV crew.
Yeah.
They might make the nicest, most innocent person seem like a real see you next Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, 5 minutes later, after all the drama music stops playing, you know, they're like the nicest person. So they give you these glimpses of what they're like. But not only that, I heard from a little birdie that they give you copious amounts of alcohol.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
You know, when they do those
the dinner nights.
Those dinner nights,
yeah.
They're drunk, like they're like really drunk. And you know, sometimes when drunk people, you know, drink too much, they just blurt out things that may be wrong, but they've said it on, you know, TV, and then you know, the camera crew just manipulate it so
capitalize on the situation
so that they get ratings.
Yeah.
So that they get ratings. That's it.
Okay, I understand all of that, but don't care. I still want to scream at the TV. I'm tuning in and watching everything. But what I did, because they're talking about sexual chemistry at the moment, and sometimes, you know, you can meet. Now, I went on a date with this guy, gorgeous man, like tall, beautiful, super smart, high IQ, worked for the RAF, like ticked every single box. But there was absolutely no sexual chemistry.
Went for the RAF?
The RAF, Royal Air Force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but he, but there's no sexual chemistry. It was like just having a really, really good looking brother. So
I've been in that boat before.
With a really good looking brother.
With a really good looking brother. With a really good looking sister. No, not a sister. I shouldn't say sister because
your family is very attractive. Like all the photos that you share with me of your family get-togethers, you seriously don't have any ugly people. You just don't.
No, my family is. My family is pretty good looking.
Yeah.
They should all be on TV.
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
What happened with you?
Mate, I'm the black sheep in the family.
So, but when they're talking about sexual chemistry, I was thinking, because, you know, like I like to overthink because that's just my brain cell. And then I was thinking, okay, so now they're looking for ways to create a sexual chemistry or test the situation to see if there's potential for sexual chemistry. But how do you, like, what would you do to see if there's sexual chemistry? Would you just go out and pork them, like, and see whether it works or not?
No, I wouldn't have to go that far. I'd just kiss them. You know, if you have sexual chemistry with somebody, if you kiss them or not.
Yeah.
But then it really depends on how shallow the person is. Like, you know, some guys may get along famously with a person, and then that person might have, say, you know, they might say have lightning strikes on their tummy or something because they've had kids, you know, stretch marks. Some people may.
I like that, lightning strikes. Like we've had little wizards. Go, sorry, carry on.
They might have, you know, imperfections or moles or something that, you know, protrude out, or, you know, they might have war scars or something. You know, there's all different. Look, I don't care because I've dated both younger and older women, so, you know, it really depends on the person, and I fucking forgot where I'm going with this, but
Sexual chemistry.
you know what? It's up to everybody's individual taste. You know, I've dated women that are very voluptuous. I dated for about a year Miss Korea runner-up.
Oh yeah.
She was a good-looking girl, but there was a language barrier between us. She didn't understand sarcasm and, you know, mucking around or joking or anything like that. So that didn't last for that long. You know, I've dated older women, younger women, and you can't pinpoint sexual chemistry straight away.
Yeah.
Just moving this camera because I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere here. Yeah, you can't sort of pinpoint sexual chemistry from a level, you know, like my first sexual chemistry comes from when you first see somebody, it's the first, you know, 5 seconds. You just look at them quickly up and down, straight away, you know, if, you know, there's some sex appeal there. Sex appeal doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, a size 6 figure. It can be, you know, size 12 or size 14. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what size it is. There's that certain chemistry. There's that certain, you know, glimpse, that cheekiness about somebody that, you know, you think they'd be a fun person. You know, I'd love to, you know, get to know this person better. So it's not just one thing that entails sexual chemistry. Like, for me, it's more the look of the person. I like somebody with nice skin, for example. You know, people ask me if I'm a tit man or an ass man. I'm a skin man, you know, because, you know, the skin tells you a lot about a person. It tells you, you know, if they're healthy, because I eat fairly healthily. You know, I don't care if they're voluptuous in the right places, you know, but some people don't like certain looks. Like, they don't like the hourglass figure. Some people don't like the teardrop shape, you know. Some guys, you know, don't like, you know, women that have had enhanced breasts or lips or anything like that. Like, personally, I would never, like, I'd date somebody with, you know, with fake boobs, but if they looked like this, I would never date them. If they walked around all day, you know, with their duck lips,
permanent.
I'd never, you know, I'd never date them. You know, that's just, I don't know, personally, if somebody gets really, has a lot of, like, too much work done to themselves, you know, it's either they're trying to keep up with the their crowd or the Joneses or whatever circle of friends that they're in, or they're really insecure about themselves and they're not happy with what, you know, they were born with.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm no psychologist or anything, but, you know, my view on sexual chemistry to me, like love is to me, like, you know, relationship, it's like an onion. There's so many layers.
Yeah.
It's not just one layer. It's not just, you know, one size fits all. There's so many different layers to a person, to, you know, loving a person, to sexual chemistry with a person, to, you know, like, I wouldn't just fuck anybody, you know, just because I'm horny. They got to turn me on.
Yeah.
You know, and they turn me on in certain ways. They might be the most glamorous and most beautiful looking person and have a fucking personality of an indoor pot plant, you know, or, you know, they might fucking, you know, be hard work and, you know, it just doesn't flow easily.
Yeah.
So to answer your question about sexual chemistry and what, you know, what does it for me, I couldn't pinpoint one exact thing for you. It's an accumulation of different things, you know. It's how the person looks, it's that banter, it's how they kiss, you know, it's how nice their lips feel on mine. You know, hopefully they don't have, you know, body odor if my, you know, mouth sort of goes south or something, you know, like, you know, stuff like everything, you know, it's an accumulation of everything, you know. you just know, like everybody's personality is different and everybody's, mind thinks differently. So you just have to find that right person. And I know it takes a long time. And, I was on online dating up until, 2 nights ago. I took myself off it.
Oh, you
But
did. I was going to ask you how that was going.
yeah,
Another friend of mine, he's the beautiful man. He's so lovely, girls. He's really, 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 really nice. I work with him. He's sick of it too. He's just so sick of the dating thing. My camera keeps resetting. And he said, they either want to keep talking and never want to meet you, or they just want to go straight for the sheets. And he said, there's no, I don't want that. I just want to talk for a little bit and then like a couple of days and then arrange for a coffee date and see what happens from there, and not necessarily jump in the sheets. He said, and there seems to be two extremes at the moment. There's nobody really in the middle. But then I was reflecting, because this was a recent conversation I had with him, and then I was reflecting on what you and I were talking about, where social media had got it really now where it's like a catalog, and you can just, I need to reset my camera because it's annoying me. And it's you can swipe right or left or whatever. I don't know. I haven't been dating for 10 years, so I don't know what you swipe. But the person that you like, you got to swipe a certain way to get them. Give me 2 secs.
Yep.
And so because, like you're always looking for the next best thing or the next perfection or what that looks like. With what?
What happened? I can't see the picture or anything.
Oh, I don't know. We can see you.
You can see me. Oh, now I can see myself again. I don't know what happened. It just went blank.
Oh, it could have been because I covered my camera. So it's interesting that there's like these really lovely men out there that are looking for something, but the girls are so used to, I think girls are used to jumping in bed quickly, or they just think that that's okay to do that, or if that's how you want someone to like you. I don't really understand the dynamics because it's not something I would do.
You think it's the girls that like to do that? Are you sure? No, you know what it is. Usually the girls say, "Oh, don't do that on the first date." That's fucking bullshit. You know what? Girls they're just as fucking naughty as us.
Yeah, I'm not. No, first date, no. It's just, it's not, I don't know. Sexual chemistry for me is something, because I find intelligence and interaction extremely sexy. So if even if I've got like Tom Hardy in front of me and he's, just smells divine, because I'm a year of Taurus, so, it's all about smells for me. And he looks fantastic, and, he's very masculine. He's got all that masculine energy pouring off him. If he not an intelligent person, and I don't mean high IQ, I mean being able to reflect and have a mature outlook on learning stuff, or the way they interact when there's a difference of opinion, or all that sort of stuff. That's what I find sexy. So for me, sexual chemistry happens after I've already established a little bit of an emotional connection, where I starting to feel safe with that person, and how much of a conversation we can have, and how that conversation happens, and what we discuss in that conversation, and when we disagree on something, how we do that. So all of that sort of stuff is like a package for me, but it's very rarely the physical. The physical will, because I'm a Libran, so we like pretty shiny things. But having said that, I don't have a type of man either. So my 4 partners don't look anything alike. None of them look anything alike, other than 2 of them are under 6 foot and 2 of them are over 6 foot. So it's not really, I don't have a type, but I am certainly attracted to a fucking lesson, I can tell you that. But sexual chemistry it's got to tick so many different boxes for me before I go, you know what, I'm actually starting to feel sexually attracted to this person. So it's a very interesting thing. I wouldn't even kiss someone unless I was starting to feel that way. Yeah, I think it's because I'm very guarded with my energy. And I know that being intimate with someone and having that, whether it's, the whole hog sex, or whether it's just kissing, because you're starting to get to know each other, it's still an exchange of energy for me. So I would put the brakes on if I wasn't 100%, it's not even 100% sure, but if I wasn't feeling the different areas. Like I even if he was an Adonis, but he was just stupid and arrogant and rude to wait staff and didn't use his manners, I'd be like, I can't deal with that dude.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'm very weird, aren't I? There must be other people out there as weird as me, though. Surely. I can't be the only weirdo in the world.
There are. There's lots of Fruit Loops out there. There's red Fruit Loops. There's blue Fruit Loops, yellow Fruit Loops, orange Fruit
But I'm
Loops.
still a Fruit Loop. Thanks, Michael. I would know to go to you for support, don't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's interesting. So I wanted to get your take on that. Sexual chemistry.
Oh, sexual chemistry. It's when you meet somebody, they need to tick a few boxes, mental chemistry, sexual chemistry. Then there's other things that aren't chemistry, there's
sense of humor is a huge thing for me too.
Oh, sense of humor, absolutely. And I really like somebody that's close to their family too. I don't, I like somebody that's, because I'm really family orientated. I mean, I don't like have kids or anything, as everyone knows, but like I like people that are close to their family, to their siblings, because it shows me that they know how to communicate. They know how to, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it just shows me that they're genuine people.
Yeah.
It shows me that they have love and compassion, and families aren't easy, like relationships aren't easy.
Yeah.
But you work through it. I just like the respect. I like the respect that somebody shows to their parents, for example. I like that. I like that sort of trait, that characteristic about people. And then, there's other things as well. There's so many things come into play. It's not just, you see one person walking down the street and you think, wow, look at that. Look at her. She's friggin' hot, and then you talk to her and it's like, yeah, fucking, how you going, buddy? And it's like, oh, fuck me, dude. What if I fucking,
They come out. She got the shadow personality.
Oh, fuck. It's like,
it's
you
interesting.
see someone.
Yeah, sorry, you go.
No. It's just, you can have some, the thing that really appeals to me about meeting somebody outside of the whole realm of, visualization and, how they behave is another big thing is communication.
Yeah.
Communication and somebody who's down to earth and modest and, doesn't boost themselves, doesn't talk about themselves all the time. And, look at me, look how good I am, look at this,
Yeah.
Like I'm fortunate enough to have everything such as that. But, I don't care if the person is a, full-time student, if they've got a fantastic job and they're making $500,000 a year, or if they're making, 40 grand a year, as long as they're ambitious and, they're not lazy, they get up and go. Who cares, really?
Yeah.
You don't judge.
Stuff. It's all human.
You don't judge a person. A lot of people, especially online, I've met a lot of, like in the past, I've met a lot of women that, they want a fucking guy that's, that has everything. But then they have nothing,
what? It's interesting you should say that, because I a lot of women, because I've always had, older friends, at least 10 years older than me. And when I was single at about the mid-30s, about my mid-30s, I was single for a while there. And it was great because a lot of my friends were sort of in their 50s and they were saying, boys in your age group, not boys, men, males in your age group, at least they're younger, the older guys let themselves go, like they don't take as much care. You're expected to look like a princess, but they can look like Shrek, all this sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, I don't understand that mentality, because, boys and girls age differently. And a lot of girls put a lot of pressure on themselves to, not look old, not embrace their gray hair, be concerned about their body shapes, about their stretch marks, about life, you know, and all the things that happen to our bodies, because let's face it, we got the fucking raw end of the deal when it comes to creating things with our bodies. But I didn't really, I still don't look at older men as Shrek though. I just think that boys are just different. They have different priorities and they don't have the society norm. I mean, even if you think about it, you know, boys get better with age and they mature, and some of them mature and they go grey, and that's acceptable. But women are expected to have, you know, society expects them to have this youthful appearance, you know, forever and a day, and they pick up on that and they try to attain that and sustain it. And it's just, for me, I just didn't really get what they were saying. And I still don't really get what they're saying, because there's some really strapping looking 50, 55-year-old men, even 60-year-old men that do look after themselves. And, you know, so whatever. But the other thing I noticed was that they also used to say, and no disrespect to women who think like this, but they also used to say, you know, you work yourself so hard and you get your own house and you get this and you get that, and then you meet this man and he's got nothing and he's renting or doesn't have enough money in the bank. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what, when men get divorced, or when people get divorced from each other, 9 times out of 10 the man will leave everything with the ex-wife, you know, because that's where the kids will stay for a bulk of the time. So she gets the house, she gets the car, she gets the whatever assets, and if it's a nasty breakup, then she'll get other things too. And I'm not having a dig at women, because I've been divorced, so I know what it's like. But I just think, you know, just calm down on the man bashing stuff, because a lot of these guys did have all those things. They did have money in the bank, they did have a house, they did have family values, they did have a family, you know, unity, and they were doing all the things that we're expecting them to have. They had it with their first family, or maybe even their second families, but now they've had to start again. And you know, men have got a lot of men still value, in my opinion, still value themselves and what they can bring to the table from a materialistic point of view. So men would be feeling very devalued anyway. And then women come along and say, well, you don't own a house, even though you just lost it in the divorce battle, and you don't own this, so therefore you're not attractive to me. And I just think that's a load of shit.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in relationships where I've walked away with absolutely nothing. 2 little suitcases, like $2.99 these suitcases cost me. And I had an outfit to sleep in, swimmers, an outfit to go to interviews in, and that was it. And I walked away from an investment portfolio, a big company, all of that in my first marriage. I walked away because it wasn't bringing me any joy. It was taking away from me more than it was bringing to me, even though, you know, we're very, very wealthy people. We had a lot of very asset and cash rich in my 20s. But the relationship just wasn't fulfilling in any way. So, so for me, I just don't really see materialistically how that brings to a relationship. You can build shit together. I don't think people should be judged for what sort of materialistic things they have. You know, I'd rather look at somebody for their character traits and their personality traits and their battle scars and their learnings and all that sort of stuff, the idiosyncrasies that makes them them in that exact moment, and care less about their past and care less about the fact that they, you know, might have their ass out of their strides now, but you know what, they're richer for it in other ways. So but I've also realized that not a lot of people think like that. They say it, but they don't actually, they talk it, but they don't walk it. Yeah, which is disappointing, because when you're single, you really want to meet someone who you know, you want to believe the words that people are telling you, and they're not always in alignment with facts.
Yeah. A lot of people, especially around our age, doesn't matter how old you are, right? You know, they want to slow down. They want to go traveling. They want to, you know, work less. You know, because they've worked hard all their lives. You know, I mean, but that's not love. You know, love is not that. You know, I've dated women that, you know, I've helped them pay for a holiday away, you know, whether it be overseas or somewhere.
You can, and wait, hang on, hold up. I just chucked this out there.
Just
You
quickly,
won't let me.
quickly.
You won't let me go in your suitcase when you go to Croatia because you'll have another girlfriend. I don't want to be your girlfriend. I just want to go in your suitcase to Croatia. But you're happy to pay for someone else's holiday. We need to talk about this more. Anyway, go back to your story. True story.
If I'm going to Croatia with a girlfriend, you're not coming.
Why can't I go?
Go
I
by
don't
yourself in a different seat, in a different plane.
Just chuck me in your freaking suitcase. I'm tiny. I will fit.
No. I got to fit my swimmers in there.
You budgie smugglers.
Yeah, I'm wearing my budgie smugglers. No. I'll have all my clothes in there that I'll probably never wear because I'll be wearing shorts the whole time. I was going to say, I almost forgot. I was going to say, in terms of what you were saying with, a guy losing everything, love is love. Okay. If we're going to judge one another with, their possessions and what they have,
Yep.
You're not looking for love. If you're looking for love, you look beyond all of that. If you came into a relationship with nothing and I'm looking for love, do you think I'm going to love you less because you're an awesome person? I get along with you, whatever you had in the past and you lost, that's bad luck.
Yeah.
But it's not love if you're going to judge a person on, on their wealth or what they have or what they don't have.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if that person makes you happy and you come home to each other and you're in each other's arms and, you have fun with the person, you love with the person, you can lean on the person, you can talk to the person, you communicate well with the person, you enjoy the sexual chemistry with the person, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't look at that when I meet somebody. The first question I ask them, I don't ask them always what they do for a job. Sometimes I ask what they do for a job just in case they have night shift or something,
Oh yeah.
Because I want them to sort of, if we're never together, because they do night shift and I do day shift, what's the point, really?
Yeah, it's a strain on the relationship.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah. I've noticed for myself, my relationship started going bad when he was doing afternoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ask what they do and how much money they make and everything like that. I don't ask them at all. If they're a really good person, I'm happy to, I'm happy to take them on a holiday. I'm happy to, give extra money or something, like that. It's, people shouldn't look at other people's possessions to feel that they need to love somebody because of it.
Yeah. They place the value on the possessions and not on the person.
Yeah, absolutely. The person's worth a lot of money, if they don't have possessions, well, we'll do it together. We'll help each other. I'll bring them up, but they can, bring me up or whatever. I'll make them. If you're a loving and caring partner, just you help each other in life.
Yeah.
You choose that person because you're looking for love. And love conquers everything. Love is greater than, money. Love is greater than what you have. Love and health are the two most important things in your life.
Have you ever been in love, like head over heels, totally breathtakingly gone, look at this person, nothing else matters, in love?
I thought I was with my ex. I could probably count, thinking back about, head over heels, besides a first girlfriend who, you've never experienced love before, so you think, wow, you're in love. Maybe in the last, I should say 6 years ago, because I left, my long-term relationship then, 5.5, 6 years ago. I'd probably say my ex. I probably would say my ex. you know, I just, I never, with her, I never looked at the other side of the grass, you know, like, no, I never had one foot out, never had one foot or one finger out the door.
Completely, utterly, 100% committed and loyal.
Completely, 100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you break up with someone like that, you do stupid things and, you know, you're hurting and, you know, you go through a lot of emotions and everything. You know, whereas, you know, you break up with somebody after 10 years and you might not care so much, you know, you might not be desperate to want to get back with that person, you know.
Yeah. I was with my
thinking,
first boyfriend for that long, for almost 17 years, my first boyfriend. And I think it was more the fact that he wasn't there anymore, not so much anything else. It was because, I mean, you know, we were 10 years of age when we first laid eyes on each other, and I left when I was 26. So it's, you know, it's a long time to be with that person, and you sort of get used to them being there.
Yep.
So, but as far as missing him, fuck no. If he turned up at my front door now, I honestly, I'd do anything to help him because, you know, we grew up together. But from a romantic relationship or reigniting a spark, no fucking way. No way. No way. I'd give him whatever he needed. That you know, within reason, of course. Pants are still on. But if he needed food or somewhere to stay, or he was just in big shit in his life, or he just needed some time out, he would get whatever he needed from me out of care and respect for the person I grew up with. But there's no.
Yeah, I was like that with my, you know, it's funny. I actually, for the first, when I was with my long-term relationship with the lady that I went down the IVF path with and all of that sort of stuff, I contemplated getting back with her after a few months after separating, purely because it was just easier than going through the whole dating process and, you know, living with somebody and, you know, all of that sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah, number 3 tried to do that with me.
You know.
Yeah, it's too much of a hassle. And then once he determined, oh, hang on a minute, it's not what I thought it was. Maybe she was everything I wanted in a partner. Then he came knocking on the door again. And I was like, oh no, it doesn't happen like that, honey. You needed to appreciate what you had when you had it, and you didn't. So really, there'll come another point where you will do the same behavior again. And I mean, I put him straight in the friend basket after that. And within 6 weeks, he started exhibiting the same behaviors as what he was doing before. Like, so you want me to invest in my time and my energy and my love into you, but you're not going to do that back. And you've actually learned nothing. You've just learned how to throw words at me that you think are going to hook me into, you know, exploring a second relationship with you. And I always think, you know, they're an ex for a reason. I would never go back with an ex. Once they're an ex, that's it. It's just, no. And there's no bitterness. I just think that lesson and everything that you needed to learn from that situation has been achieved. You can reflect back on it privately. If you're still in love with them, that's fine. You can love people from afar. You don't have to be in the same house to love them. You don't even have to be in the same relationship to love them. But I would never go backwards. I would consider that taking a backward step, because you've broken up for a reason, and I would always remember that reason.
It's, you know, it's important in life, and, you know, this has taken me some time to realize this, but it's important. The true, hang on, how do I word this? It's about to fucking start pissing down again. The people are always looking for happiness in their life, you know, and, you know, Buddha has, you know, a lot of sayings, you know, like treat those how you want to be treated, you know. But the true essence of happiness is to love people unconditionally. Actually, I shouldn't say unconditionally. That's the wrong words. You should love.
See the look on my face. I think there's always conditions with love.
You should love somebody no matter what they've done towards you. You know, forgiving a person is important. You know, forgive a person. You don't necessarily have to. You don't necessarily have to forget if they've hurt you or if they've done something untoward. But it's really important to be in the moment of what they're feeling. So if they've done something wrong, be in the moment, confront that feeling. The only way that you're going to be truly happy in life is if you confront the emotions that the other person is showing towards you. If they're angry towards you, confront them about their angriness. If they've cheated on you, confront them why they cheated on you. The only time you're going to be unhappy in life is when you're a victim in life, because you're allowing them to make you a victim.
Dictate your value, your worth, your mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, recently I had somebody that was really angry towards me, but I, you know, showed him compassion and I said, look, you know, I wasn't hostile back towards them. You know, I asked them, you know, what the issue was. I don't hate that man, you know, I don't hate that person, you know, because of his, you know, rude texts or anything. You know, he's come from a place where obviously, you know, he maybe has some things going on, you know. I don't like him any less. You know, we've both had hard times in our lives, no doubt. And, you know, you have to learn to let go of things, because if you allow yourself to be a victim, you will never find true happiness, you know, ever.
There won't be space in your field, your aura field for it. There won't be, because
it's hard to change. It's hard to change your own thought process. Like, a lot of us would have anger towards another person, or we want to be vindictive, or we want to, you know, we want to hold grudges. You know, it's hard not to do that. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm actually saying don't hold grudges against somebody. You know, don't be a negative person. You know, but you don't have to forget how they treated you or what they did to you. You don't have to forget that, but you don't have to have, you know, those negative emotions associated with that. You know, just don't forget it, but just move on and love them anyway. You know, just let it go, because once you allow somebody to, once you allow them to have those emotions, then they've won. They're a, you know, you're a victim to them.
Yeah.
Don't allow somebody to be a victim. Don't allow somebody to show you negative thoughts, and then you just sit back and think, oh, you know, I'm just going to ignore this, you know, because once you ignore it, that's when you're a victim.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I mean that
if you're ignoring the behavior,
it is, you know what? It is absolutely fucking bucketing outside. I was looking at the blue sky thinking, geez, it's really nice. And now it looks like there's a fucking mini cyclone coming through.
that's what I had when I couldn't get internet connection, which hence I was late. Yeah.
Fucking no, like it's black outside. It's
yeah,
like
it was
now
terrible. Like a little mini tornado ripped through here.
Yeah, it's coming through here now. Like it just all of a sudden came out of nowhere.
I want to talk more about, but I need to go because I've just been called to a teleconference. But I want to talk more about this whole subject because it's really interesting, and you and I see eye to eye on some things and then we butt heads on others. It'd be really interesting to see, because I do not subscribe to the love them anyway. I think I subscribe to boundaries and to people crossing boundaries. I subscribe 100% to forgiveness, but I do it a completely different way. And I know why I have this thought process, and why I've helped countless numbers of people through it. And it is a way of being able to cope and deal with traumatic experiences so that you can understand them better.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, will go on with, Michael did this to me, therefore this is what I feel about Michael.
There's two points of being truly happy. Number one is to live in the moment.
Yeah.
To live in that moment.
Yeah.
If
not
someone's
thinking
angry
too far
with you,
forward.
no, if someone's angry at you or someone's hurt you, live in that moment. Do you understand what I say by
Yep.
live in the moment?
Yep.
So live in the moment. And the second point of happiness is to accept it.
Yeah. So both really control-based mechanisms. Because if you're not accepting someone's behavior, that's when it starts to bring you down, because you'll mull over it, you'll process it, you get
That's
on
right.
the hamster wheel. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Accept the situation and confront it and move on.
Yeah.
Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it consume your thoughts.
Yeah.
Don't allow it to do that, because once you allow someone to do that to you, then you are a victim and they are a bully.
Yeah.
There's more to it, but we'll speak about it in the next podcast.
For sure. It's an interesting topic.
There's a lot more to it, but I heard something today on online. I just wanted to play this. It's really quick. It's really quick. I'm just looking for it on my phone. Where is it? Hang on, where is it? It's about something that's going on in today's society, and this was spoken about by an Australian, someone in the Senate. I'm just going to play this quick thing from my phone here. But I think it's really important what's going on in today's society. Absolutely fucking important what's going on. I think that this has got to do with the COVID and everything, the pandemic and everything. But the pandemic is a stepping stone. I remember many years ago, people were saying the most powerful people in the world will be the people with the most information.
Yeah.
True?
Yep. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. So this pandemic, in my eyes, was like a stepping stone for the government to fucking track every single movement that we're doing, And this guy hits the nail on the head, what's going on, because apparently there's a bill going to pass through in Australia. I don't know when. But have a listen to this guy.
Let's be blunt. The so-called Trusted Digital Identity Bill represents a watershed moment in Australian history. We stand at the divide between a free personal enterprise future and a digital surveillance age. If nothing is done to stop this bill, government will sit in the middle of every interaction Australians have with each other and with the world. And it achieves this in the same way China does, by creating a digital identity that forms a central part of a person's life. You can call it a license to live. What began with COVID contact tracing, vaccine passports, and QR check-ins will soon be formalized by an inescapable digital identity. It signals the complete end of consumer privacy, the end of citizen anonymity, and the beginning of a big brother digital age that treats the people of Australia as products rather than free human beings. The government intends to build a complete digital record of every Australian to be shared and used. Our medical history, our shopping preferences, who we associate with, whether our choices are really so-called green, social security, veteran services, travel records, website viewing, employment status, and social media comments. Everything will go on the record and be available to any large corporation that can pay for access. All of this orchestrated by a federal Liberal Nationals government who proudly but distortingly call it a human-centric digital identity.
What do you think about that?
I think we need a whole podcast on it. I have to go. I'm going to be late for my teleconference. But
Okay.
we knew this was coming. We saw it. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, but nobody
Nope.
knows of what's actually coming.
Well, I want to talk more about it because I've been in a groups of people for 10, 15, 20 years, and we have all been watching these things unfold. Facebook has been tracking everything that we do. You can literally be on Facebook on your phone, go to your computer and look up mattresses. All of a sudden, Facebook starts sending you ads for mattresses. It's been linked for a very long time. They're just doing it in a sneaky manner. Now they're actually going to pass a bill where you will get rid of all your freedom of speech platforms, all the ones that are encrypted that they can't tap into. They want to get rid of all those and have total control over everything. If you say something that is against the narrative, you will be booted from your job. And that is what's happening next, which is why the HR policies, the mandates, and all these things are starting to come from federal and leaking down into the state, because they want total control over everything. And it's always been the case. It's just a matter of time. And unfortunately, the she'll be right attitude that a lot of Australians have is going to bite them fair and square on the fucking tushies very, very soon. But I have to go. I want to talk about this more.
All right.
Thanks for listening to Lost the Plot, and we'll see you all again soon. Please don't forget to
Like and subscribe.
That's right. Bye, guys.
See ya.